In Mobile Legends, understanding how damage works can make it much easier for us to choose the right items. Previously, I made a video on all the defense items, where I explained which defense item you should use to counter specific types of damage. So today, I'll talk about all the different types of damage in the game so that understanding items becomes even easier. Because after this, I'll make videos on attack and magic items, and to understand those, you must first understand how damage works. So, let's start the video. In the last video, I mentioned that Mobile Legends has mainly 4 types of damage: physical damage, magic damage, true damage, and critical damage. Remember, critical damage is not a separate damage type, it's actually a part of physical damage. But it works a little differently, so I'm explaining it separately to make things clearer for you. I'll explain that part nicely at the end, so don't panic. Let's start with physical damage. All the items you see under the attack slot are used by heroes who deal physical damage. These items are mainly used by marksmen, fighters, and assassins. When I make the video on attack items, you'll learn what each item does. So what is physical damage? It's pretty straightforward. The heroes who use those items will deal physical damage to you. And if you want to survive their attacks, you'll need to build a defense item that counters physical damage. I've already explained which item counters what in my defense items video, so go check that out if you haven't already. Now let's move on to magic damage. All the items under the magic slot are used by heroes who deal magic damage. These are usually mages or assassins. Yes, some assassins deal both physical and magic damage. In-game, when you die, you can click to check how much damage each enemy dealt to you, and whether it was physical or magic. Even some tanks can deal magic damage. So based on who is doing the most damage to you and what type of damage it is, you should build a suitable counter item. If you're playing a damage-dealing hero like a marksman, mage, or assassin, you won't have much space in your build for defense items, because it'll reduce your damage output. So, choose one defense item wisely, one that counters the type of damage that's hurting you the most. You can't counter everyone at once. That's why I keep recommending my defense item video. It'll help you a lot. Now, the most dangerous one, true damage. This is the one that can't be countered by any specific item, unlike physical or magic damage. But here's a lifesaver for you: Twilight Armor. You may remember from my earlier video that this item's passive reduces any damage that goes above 500, whether it's physical, magic, or true damage. That's why this is the only item that can reduce true damage to some extent. Look at this example. Leslie has a passive that deals true damage, which you can recognize by the white-colored damage numbers. Now, I'm going to test how much damage I can do to Layla, who's fully built with defense items like a tank. Even with all that defense, I still deal around 1313 damage to her. Then, I removed all of Layla's defense items and the damage output was still around 1300. That means those defense items didn't help at all. But now, let's give her Twilight Armor and see if it makes a difference. As you can see, the damage drops to around 1113. So yes, only Twilight Armor can help reduce true damage. There's one more item that can somewhat help: Guardian Helmet. While it doesn't reduce true damage directly, it gives a massive 1550 HP. So even if you take a 500 true damage hit, you still have over 1000 HP left. That extra health can help you survive longer. In short, while there's no item that directly counters true damage, Twilight Armor and Guardian Helmet are the two that can at least help you survive it a bit. And remember, you can identify true damage by its white-colored numbers in-game. Now let's talk about critical damage, something many people get confused about. This is actually a type of physical damage that works with something called crit chance. Think of it like luck. Let's say you have an item that gives 25% crit chance. That means, on average, 1 out of every 4 attacks will deal extra damage, maybe even double the usual damage. But the exact amount isn't fixed. For example, if your normal damage is 200, your critical hit might do 300 or even 400. It's random. In a test, I hit Layla and did 138 damage per hit normally. Then I bought an item with 25% crit chance, and suddenly I was doing 485 damage on some hits. Other hits were around 192, but occasionally it would jump to 487. That's the power of critical damage. It's not consistent, but it can deal huge damage when it lands. So now we understand all types of damage: physical, magic, true, and critical. This video was important because in my upcoming videos on attack and magic items, I'll mention things like, this item gives X% crit chance, or, this skill deals true damage. Now that you understand what those mean, it'll be much easier for you to decide whether that item is right for your hero or not. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel because I've got many more exciting videos coming up. So soldiers, that's all for today. See you in the next one.